Welcome to the Night Trader Club. We find opportunities in the market and make some money. Before we get into another community request, hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. Don't forget, if you're a subscriber, then send in a stock or ticker by request. Enjoy the video. Let's take a look at Square Inc., ticker SQ. If you're thinking about opening up a new position in Square or increasing your position in Square, then stick around for the rest of this video. We're going to go over the Q4 results, some support and resistance, and then when a good time to get in would be. As for the Q4 results, that's what this down 7.5% on the day is all about. Basically, Goldman Sachs gave a very bearish rating on Square. Funny, a bank rated their competitor with a bearish rating. Anyways, Goldman Sachs said Square is going to be $246 a share by next year. It's pretty interesting since, early 2020, Square was $32 a share, and now they're trading at $237. But either way, basically, there was a lot of FUD coming from the fact that Square netted $4.57 billion in Bitcoin in 2020, and Square had an additional 3 million people buying Bitcoin just in January. And they also reported that in January alone, 1 million new people opened up positions in Bitcoin. All right, these are people who have never owned Bitcoin before. They opened up new positions in Bitcoin through Square. So that's even more money coming into Square. So as for this Q4 results, basically I would say Q4 results is a whole lot of FUD at the moment. Okay, so I'm looking for Square to shake this off and continue this massive bull run that they've been on from $32 to $283 in less than 1 year. I expect that to keep going. But as for the near term, let's look at this support and resistance. So you have support level 1, which was broken through today, was at 240. All right, you don't want to see this. You don't want to see Square coming back down here, but this is familiar territory for the end of December, early January. Okay, so this is not an alarming territory for Square to be trading in. And actually, with this yellow line here, this is the 50-day moving average. So you have Square coming down to the moving average. So I'm really interested and curious to see what's going to happen. Is it going to bounce off, or is it going to fall through? And if it does fall through like it did here in mid-February, is it going to be for long and go back up? What's going to happen? So this is a crucial time. And then if it does continue to fall, if it does fall through the moving average, I would look at support level 2. You have that at about $215. Okay, so you're not out of the fight if it's at $215. And then I would say really support level 3 would be at $200, but I would not be opening up any new positions in between $200 and $215. I actually wouldn't open up a position until I see what happens with this 50-day moving average. But I definitely want to see support level 1 reached again. And if it does reach that support level 1, things go good from here. Then you have resistance level 1 at 200, around 260, 262, and then resistance level 3 at 280, 282. These lines may look a little off of the line, but if I flip to the candle chart, so I drew out this chart based off of the candle. So going from the highs and lows of not only the bars, but also the wicks, the lines that run up and down too. And I actually took this out to about 6 months to build these support and resistance lines. So resistance is very near term. So I wouldn't say it's that much of resistance, but it is resistance nonetheless. So anyways, back to the 3-month chart with the candle. So we have our support and resistance. As far as where to get in Square, if you are going to get in Square, give me a minute to draw out. Actually, what we're going to do is we have a pretty nice chart here. So what I'm going to use right now is a pitchfork. Excuse me for thinking out loud. So we're going to go ahead and use blue for this pitchfork. All right, so we're going to take the lows from this run in early February. So from here, go to the high and connect it to the low of the lowest. And I'm going to assume, so this is assuming that today's low, the low of this wick of 230, this is assuming It's not going to go any lower from there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and zoom in from here. Okay, so we'll zoom in from here with this. Okay, so if you're thinking about getting into Square, where would you be getting into? Okay, where would I get into Square? Well, it depends. If I am conservatively getting into Square and just buying shares and holding for the long term, I'm going to wait until after resistance level 1 is broken. So after it's above 262, 263, that's when I would buy shares. And sure, that's a $23 difference from now, but if you're long and holding for 6 months to 12 months, when you look at Square's exponential growth, that $20 a share is you're not going to miss it. And if anything, it's just an insurance policy. So you're paying $27 a share, not to decrease the likelihood you're going to lose on this trade. So anyways, if I was long with just shares only, 262, 263, that's when I would get in. But depending on your risk tolerance, if you have a high level of risk, I would say calls. Now would be when I would be buying calls or leaps. All right, the implied volatility right now dropped by 11% based off of this 7.5% drop today. Okay, and if you look at how much volatility the IV that Square trades with, it's between 46% to 141%. So we're pretty close to the lows of what Square trades at. So if you are looking to play off of some bullish momentum, some potential bullish momentum, now is looking like a good time. Although I would probably at least wait until that 237, 240 level of support is reached again. I would also wait until we see what happens with this moving average. So it did, if you look at the wick, if we zoom in here, you can see that the wick of this candle did actually dip below the moving average earlier in the day, and it came back up. So that's a good sign, but I still want to wait and see what happens tomorrow, Thursday, with this moving average. Okay, and you will also want to keep a mind of your RSI. Where's the RSI at when I'm getting in? Okay, so I just have the 14-day RSI. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. All right, RSI is at 44 right now for the 3-month RSI. We'll look at the 1-month RSI. It's at 32, so it's pretty low. So that, to me, is kind of bullish. All right, so 32 is bullish. 44 is still bullish. And as for the 6-month, well, okay, same thing, 44. All right, so let's go ahead and undo this. Let's see, where is Square going to go? Well, let's take a look, see if we can find out in the near term. Okay, if it does continue to trade within this pitchfork, which is it's a very nice setup for this pitchfork, and if it does bounce off this moving average, it is going to want to regress to this mean. So I'm looking for Square to come back, start trading along this mean. So you can watch the time from the days on the bottom. So right here is March 7th, here March 15th. Okay, so we're looking around if you're hyper bullish, around $300 by March 7th. Seems a little bit of a stretch, but it can happen, especially with this rebound. All right, if the market sentiment that's turning away from the tech sector right now, the hyper growth stocks, because of the yield curve going back up, if that goes back down or stays low enough for the funds to rotate back into the growth stocks, then 300 by March 7th doesn't sound far off. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys found something useful out of this and it wasn't too awful or too unbearable to listen to. If you guys can like, subscribe, and share the video, that would be much appreciated. Your support is always welcome. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you found the information in this video useful. If you have any questions about this stock or a request for a new video, then reach out to me in the comments or on Twitter. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.